On everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to be quick on this because I wanted to address this before I have dinner with my wife. And some of you asked me this question, so I thought I would give you a straight answer on this. And so do me a favor as you come in, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Also, tomorrow morning, don't forget at 10 a.m. Eastern every single day, we do financial reflections out of my manual. It's a workbook called 30 Days to Black Wealth and Power. If you're interested in taking a look, just go to drboyceelevate.com. That's drboyceelevate.com. All right, so let's hop into this. So how many of you are married? Give me a yes in the chat if you are married or in a serious relationship. What's going on? My name is Corey and Tara. I see you. Good to see you. Let me know if you are married or in a long-term relationship. Maybe you can appreciate some of this. So someone asked me this question, so I thought I would give you an answer. And I want to kind of lay out a few reasons why I believe a lot of men are afraid to get married. I saw something today where they said that this was crazy. Check this out. They said that 30% of all millennials haven't even had sex in the last year. Literally 30% of all millennials. I remember millennials are not Gen Z. Millennials are like 30 something, 40 something. And literally, they're not even sleeping together, some of them, because they're getting caught up in other stuff, whether it's video games or the digital life or whatever. And so this led me to kind of do a quick little assessment that was in response to a question somebody asked me, like, why are men afraid of getting married? Well, the first thing I'm going to mention to you, and I wrote a book about this topic called Financial Lovemaking, which you can go find at drboycebooks.com. And in financial lovemaking, one thing that I walked away with that I felt was abundantly clear is that people tend to not want to get married if they're not financially secure. If Because marriage does require you to be responsible not just for yourself but for other people, and because our economy is shifted away from support of black males make less money. Black men have a harder time getting jobs in certain corporations. Because of this issue, you find a lot of black men just don't feel comfortable taking on the responsibility of other people, and I totally get that. And this is one of the reasons why I've always said that I believe that every black male should learn how to start a business before the age of 12, because as you see the number of black male entrepreneurs increase, you'll start to see the black marriage rate go up. This is a fact. And also prison incarceration rates played a big part in the percentage of marriage eligible men. Marriage eligible meaning have enough money, ready to commit, ready to do the damn thing, all that stuff. Now again, I want to make it clear, I'm not here to tell everybody to run off and get married. Marriage is not for the faint of heart. Marriage is tough. Marriage is a marathon, right? And a lot of y'all have tough times with marriage, I think, because you try to run a marathon with a sprinter, and a sprinter can't run 26 miles. A sprinter can run 100 yards really fast, but then they get tired and they want to quit. So ultimately, there is a culture around family. There's a culture around commitment. There's a culture around partnerships and all that not everybody is connected to. And this goes to my second point. 76% of all black children don't even grow up in a house where the mother and father are married. So if you're not exposed to the ins and outs of marriage, one advantage I had was that I got to watch my father and my mother negotiate their marriage every single day. I got to see my mother get on my father's nerves and him deal with it. I saw my father get on my mother's nerves and she dealt with it. And I saw their commitment overrode any irritation they might have with each other. And if you never saw that, it's hard to emulate that. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying it's impossible for you, but I am saying that if you didn't grow up in a household where you saw a real marriage, not this internet nonsense, there's a lot of fake relationship advice being given on the internet. If you didn't see a real marriage growing up, then you probably want to go take a class or read a book or do some seminars or something, because a lot of this stuff out here, this advice that people are giving is really, really bad. So not having a culture of marriage in the household plays a big part. If you are a boy and you grew up seeing your mother do everything by herself, and then also the man that was your father didn't feel like that a wife and kids was worth his time, then you might be tempted to feel the same way, to feel like, oh, she got it. She going, she can take care of the kids and all that, because there are other things, young guys could be out here doing that don't involve the responsibility of a family. Now, the other thing about marriage that causes some people some concern is that marriage has rules, right? Marriage has boundaries, right? There's things you can and cannot do when you are a married man. And this is another reason why I would say to a lot of men, if you're not sure, maybe take your time. Wait until you're at the right stage where you're ready to deal with those rules. When Kobe Bryant got married at 20, 21 years old, I thought about it and I remember thinking the upside is that he's going to get a chance to have his kids. And you see now Kobe's legacy is being secured by the children he made with Vanessa. But the downside is that he was a young guy who was playing in the NBA, who had a pocket full of money, who was going around the world seeing women everywhere. That's really hard. And you saw that pop out when Kobe got caught up in that situation with that lady in Colorado. And so ultimately, the rules come with it. And I would say if you're gonna do it. If you're not going to do it, don't do it because a lot of people, and it's not just men. I see a lot of people that get divorced over little things like they really think that they're going to be married to this person forever and they're never going to cheat. And I'm going to tell you like this, just to be honest with you, I think in a lot of these marriages, there are people that do cheat, especially with younger people. It happens. And so to me, if you're going to get a divorce over something like that, I personally think you shouldn't get married because it happens a lot. It happens in a lot of families. I'm not saying that you should overlook it. You can make your own decision, but it just happens. I got a lot of friends that are married, and there are a lot of good men and good women who just get caught up in situations. Let's just say that. The other thing about marriage too is that the value system of wanting to get married really comes down to wanting to be responsible for something, wanting to be a part of something. It's almost like wanting to be a soldier. Everybody doesn't want to be a soldier. Some people would rather not go to war. Some people want to dodge the draft. But then there are some people who say, I'm ready. I'm ready for the fight. I'm ready for the battle. I'm ready for the ups and downs. And I was in that category. I see marriage and heading a black household to be one of the greatest contributions I can make to the black community. I could talk to you guys all day about black wealth and building in the black community, but I like the fact that I can say, well, you know what? I'm also building in my house. This is what I'm doing at home. And a lot of times, I remember Umar Johnson was talking extensively about being with a black woman, but the truth is that he hasn't committed to a black woman. He's saying it, but he's not doing it, right? So I personally think that the value system of wanting to be responsible for other people, it's admirable if you're in that category. If you're not, that's okay. Maybe one day you will. But I will say that there are benefits as well. Because remember, with marriage, you're investing in a person, you're investing in a family, you're investing in a situation. And the one thing I can tell you about investments is that with investments, you have to be clear about what you want to do. You have to be clear enough that you're willing to deal with the ups and downs. With investing, you have to understand what you're getting into and be okay with that. And a lot of people don't. They invest and they don't know what's going on. It's almost like somebody that buys real estate and they don't understand that the value of your property could actually go down or up. And then when it happens, they freak out and they get sad. They're like all depressed. And it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen? You do understand when you invest, sometimes you lose money. You do understand that when you invest, sometimes things go bad, right? You do understand that there is risk when you invest. So this rule applies whether you're talking about investing money or you're investing love, you're investing time, you're investing energy. All of that matters. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget tomorrow morning, we're going to be doing our financial reflections. We're doing an economic consciousness training that we're meeting every single day at 10 a.m. And if you want to join us for economic consciousness or financial consciousness training, just go to drboyceelevate.com. That's drboyceelevate.com. And also, if you'd like to get profit alerts of stocks that I like, things like that, you can text the word stock to 89748. Text stock to 89748. Now, two pieces of advice I would share when it comes to marriage. I've been married 3 years, not that long, but long enough to have some opinions. First thing I would say is, if you do it, just make sure you're on the same. If you're choosing to be married or if you're dating and looking for marriage, make sure the people that you're dating, that you're giving your body to, your time to, your energy to, are on the same page. You got to make sure they're on the same page or they're going to waste your time, especially for women, because your most fertile years are pretty much, or your most best marriage eligible years are typically maybe say between 25 and 35. And a lot of people will waste your time. They'll lie to you. They'll tell you, yeah, one day I'm thinking about it, or I haven't met the right person yet. And so I think it's a little bit tricky. You can't just listen to what someone says. You got to look at what they do, look at where they come from, look at the value system in their family. So if you're dating a guy who has 3 older brothers and all of them are married, that probably increases the likelihood of a man who doesn't have any of that in his family, right? Who's never shown any track record of serious long-term commitment. So I would make sure that whatever you're trying to do, that the other person's on the same page. Also, I wouldn't do it unless you're ready. If you're not ready for the ups and downs, if you're not ready to deal with the fact that it's not a fairy tale every day, you're not going to be happy every day, every day ain't going to be perfect, then don't do it, right? A lot of people get so caught up in the fantasy of the wedding day that they forget about the act of actually being married to another person. That's a whole different thing. It's like the difference between making a baby and raising a child to the age of 18. Making a baby is easy. It feels good. You can do it very quickly if you want to. That's no big deal. But raising a baby to the age of 18 requires 18 years, aka about approximately 150,000 hours of consistent effort toward one objective. That's really hard to do. So if you're not ready for the long haul, don't do it. The benefits of marriage. What are the benefits of marriage? Well, number one is wealth. Married families tend to have more wealth than unmarried people. When they talk about all these statistics of people struggling financially, they're usually talking about people trying to do it all by themselves. People who are doing it all by themselves don't tend to do very well financially. Number two, eventually you get tired of chasing different women. You just get tired of it. You're tired of being out in the street. You get tired of being the old dude in the club. And so eventually you say, you know what? I want to go. Like, I'm going to go in this other room in 1 second. My wife made me a nice dinner with salmon and mashed potatoes and green beans. I'm gonna sit down and eat a nice dinner with my wife and chill out. I'm not trying to go run the streets chasing women that may or may not make my life better or may make my life miserable. Number three, marriage is very good for kids. Kids do better in a stable environment. So if you love your children, I think you'll work to create a stable environment where they can see a male-female dynamic that is healthy. That requires maybe some counseling. Maybe that requires some external help. A lot of people don't talk about that enough, but I think that that's a great asset to have in your family. And because if you have a good spouse and you're able to work on the same page and you're able to get things done together and able to get along, you'll do better financially and otherwise than people who are trying to struggle all by themselves. Very few people struggle more financially than a single mother trying to raise the kids and work 2 3 jobs at the same time. No, very few people struggle more financially than the man who has a bunch of babies mamas paying child support in 25 different court jurisdictions and also so it's very difficult. The last reason that marriage can be beneficial is that it's legacy building, right? When you are a man and you're the head of a household, or you're the woman and you're the queen of the household, queens get treated different from the women on the street. Kings get treated differently from the men on the street. So effectively, there are some African villages actually where if you're not a husband and a father, the villagers don't even want to hear what you have to say. In their mind, you haven't even become a man. You're still a little boy, right? So ultimately, there is that benefit in terms of legacy of knowing that I'm working on these kids and I'm getting them ready for the world. And then when I get older, they'll be there to take care of me. So there are benefits to marriage, but I'm not saying it's for everybody. I'm here to really say that if you do it, just make sure you do it right, because if you do it wrong, it can be very harmful to you. So that's my 2 cents. That's my conversation on the issue. You asked me the question, so I thought I'd answer it. Don't forget, this podcast is on Spotify. If you could, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, if you go to boycewatkins.com, there's a training there called How to Make Money Without Working. If you want to make money, extra cash flow, and you don't want to have to work for the money, I can tell you this will benefit you tremendously. It's totally free. It's very, very popular. So feel free to go to boycewatkins.com. And also, if you want to get profit alerts via text, all you got to do is text the word stock to 89748. Text stock to 89748. So take care, everybody. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. And don't forget, this podcast is on Spotify. See you later. Peace.